I have come here to take inspiration from you, as has been my case for the last 50 years. Hargopal is here, DN is here, Lakshman is here, and many other friends in the audience, Manmala, many other friends. And I see some very old friends who have been in this movement. So I have come here because I think this is an occasion to reaffirm hope. Reaffirm hope. And when I say, I want to say, Amar Shahid, आप लोग बोलेंगे लाल सलाम. Amar Shahid. Amar Shahid. Amar Shahid. Thank you. The main thing I would like to share, which I have learned from our history of the civil liberty movement, and this history has one of the great actors, that is APCLC, or I still wrote APCLC and then corrected Telangana CLC. Because for me APCLC has been, and we then formed PUDR, and PUDR has been the definition of my politics, identity and being. I mean, that is what has kept me alive. Sometimes I feel I'm alive because I have learned to work for some cause from these friends, these struggles. I will just say two things quickly, giving my meaning to Swaraj, because I believe that Adivasis are struggling for Swaraj, Adivasi Swaraj, for self-determination. They are working, they are struggling, they are sacrificing, and all these friends, all the 5 friends, and Ramanathan bid us goodbye when we were going to Indravali, and a few months later he gets killed. You see? And I don't have time to talk about each one of them. We have lived through this struggle and their sacrifices. What do they represent? They represent that people are struggling for their human rights, their basic rights, and these rights are not given by rulers. This book that we gave, the theory of rights, the meaning of rights we have given in this is that rights are achievements of people's struggles. Then law makes them, the law writes it. And still the rulers, RSS, capital, state, all of them, they find it inconvenient after agreeing to these laws. Then they make some extraordinary laws to take those rights away. Then some policies to make those rights non-implemented, because they want to clear the Adivasi areas for the monopoly capitalists like Adani and Tatas and all those people. Adivasis are fighting for Swaraj, Adivasi Swaraj, their rights over their resources. Jal, Jamin, Jungle is part of their Swaraj. Just as Gandhi gave his meaning to Swaraj, Adivasi struggles have given their meaning to Swaraj. And one of my articles many years ago in EPW was called Adivasi Swaraj is the answer to violence in the Adivasi areas. Adivasi Swaraj. That was one. Second, how do you fight RSS? Indeed, RSS is a great enemy, is the enemy. This is where all our experience has to be put together. We fight at every level. Remember, and I think a great thing that he conveyed, and I want to state it very clearly. RSS does not want to fight only with bombs. Of course with bombs, but also by capturing mind, by capturing our schools, capturing the consciousness of our children, of the students, capturing education. Don't forget, in the first Janata government, Morarji Desai government, L.K. Advani was Minister of what? Minister of Culture. So from 77 till today, education and culture. So the Hindu Rashtra project is both a project of capturing state power, but also and having direct support and having the corporates as part of their RSS strategy, but above all by capturing the mind. Therefore, education and cultural struggle, that's why these songs are so important. So important. I mean, our whole revolutionary movement from IPTA days till today, this cultural angle is very, very important. This is why Sri Sri, VV, their contribution is absolutely enormous. We celebrate it. We will do everything to defend them. So, very important, we must fight state, capital and RSS, all three. Not only by capturing state power, but also by capturing the cultural space that they are taking. This is very important because most of us here are writers, journalists, teachers, advocates, intellectuals. And what is the meaning of rights? For example, they think that rights are given by law. No, rights are the products of struggle. This is the message. Why did PUCL and DR got split and we formed PUDR? Why did APCLC, even though it was called Civil Liberties Committee, why did it take up caste question, dowry question, wage question, Adivasi land question? Because no liberty, no civil liberty can have any meaning unless you have all these social economic rights. That is why we emphasize democratic rights. By human rights, Hargopal, Balgopal, Kanaviran, all of us, they in fact led this debate. We all emphasized by human rights, it means social, economic, cultural and political rights. All these. And now today we have a section here on environmental rights, because that is also very important. Right to nature. Rivers have rights, mountains have rights. Not only humans have rights. You see? Because humans are dependent on them and you have to treat them. But capitalists want to conquer nature. We want to take nature as friends. Oh, some of the songs from Gadar to Bhivi to, all these songs, how Prakriti Bandhu, you see? So that concept. So these two things, how to fight RSS and Swaraj, those were my extended points from Justice Kulsi Patel, who was great, absolutely. Now, remember friends, there are 3 pushbacks and we have to acknowledge that. Everybody knows, but remember, 3 setbacks, pushbacks. One, last 11 years has pushed it even further. Already the system was betraying us. Earlier regimes, even Congress regimes and all that, they were also doing the thing, but now it has become many times, 10 times more. One is from pluralism to sectarianism. definition of India has changed. They have changed it. They want to make it Hindu Rashtra, and they have given a very narrow meaning to Hindu religion, not the multi-stranded Hinduism, not all the many reform movements. No, very narrow meaning. So they have made Hinduism a sectarian ideology, and their rights, their Rashtra, their power, everything. And they are changing the NCERT syllabus, the school syllabus, college syllabus to justify that. Not only state power, capital, but also cultural power, educational power. So that is one setback. And we have to reaffirm that. I said this is a convention of hope. We have to reaffirm that India is a multicultural, multi-religious, multi-ethnic, multilingual state, republic. And so that democratic pluralist republic, that is number one. That setback has to be fought very clearly. Please remember, 3 days ago, Zoran Mamdani has been elected as mayor of New York, fighting a similar sectarian white supremacism. And so the worldwide trend of sectarianism has been bucked, has been stopped. In America, JNU, the left has won, the left unity has won. We celebrate that. I know PSA did not join them, but I consider PSA as well as left unity together, 3,000 and 1,500, 4,500, I have no time to analyze that. But the left has made its presence. And many victories, many trends. So don't think that Democrats, pluralists, secularists have lost. No. The struggle is going on. Because that is the lesson from history. Second setback is from competitive democracy to very clear authoritarianism by reducing democracy to manipulations. Press taken over, institutions taken over, and all the institutions applied, they are used to suppress opposition. And Bhima Koregaon case is an excellent example of how the ruling classes are threatened. I think all the 16, and now one is dead, Father Stan Swami. Sorry? Stan Swami is dead, but all the others. I think every Indian now has heard of Bhima Koregaon case. And so these people, what they were fighting for, everybody knows now. So, and even the trial hasn't started. You see? What I'm saying is, Bhima Koregaon case, and there are many other cases which are examples of the threat that the system, RSS, state and capital, they have seen by these ideas, that people's ideology is spreading, and that will not allow RSS, capital and state, this fascist state, to stabilize. But the movements are going on. The third, very important, we had a trend, a small trend of right-based laws, because the left pressurized, the movements pressurized. So from 2004 to 14, particularly 4 to 10, 4 to 10, we had seen some, right to education, right to information, right to forest, the Forest Rights Act, land compensation, some gains. All those now have been seen as compromises Congress weakness, and so on. So the little trend of a welfare state has been totally manipulated. Some of the laws are there. They tried to overturn those laws, but they have failed. But now, very clearly, this authoritarian state is a power state. Use this term, power state. I know state is an organization of power, and I have written, all of us have written on state. But from welfare state, the marginal welfare, the small amount of welfare state, signs of that, we have moved directly to a power state. And all the little, the ration for the 80 crore and so on, they are freebies, they are lavarthi. They want to turn citizens into lavarthi, not right-bearing hakdars. You see, they want to turn all of us as beneficiaries of the state patronage. And the monopoly capitalists say that yes, spend this little money, this is not very much, you spend this little money, give these things, and carry on, clear the Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha forests, let Adani's projects come, aluminum and steel projects, bauxite projects come, and we will achieve a developed India, high growth rate and all that. So from welfare state to power state, these are the three great pushbacks. But remember, what is the lesson from history? All these pushbacks are periods, phases in history. They produce their own counters in history. Fascism was overthrown in history. Emergency was overthrown by Indian people. Therefore, this undeclared emergency will also be overthrown. So today, let us reaffirm the hope and learn from history. And this message must go to the rulers. They must learn from history. And this message must tell them that none of these strategies work. They have never worked in history, the strategies that they have pursued. That is the lesson from history. And to us, the lesson from history is that people have won. Human rights has got new meaning. APCLC, PUDR, all these human rights bodies and people's movements, they have contributed to advancement of history. So this is a moment of reaffirming hope. Friends, this message of hope should carry us further, and we have to unite to continue our fight. Thank you very much.